I have two children, a son and a daughter. I raised them alone. I worked a lot. I gave them everything I could. The apartment, the summer house, some savings, that's everything I earned in my life. When they were small, we lived poorly. I took extra jobs. At night I washed, during the day I worked. I wanted them to have a better future. They grew up. They started living separately. They visited rarely. They called when they needed something. I was used to it. Over the years, the conversations changed. They started asking whose name the apartment was under, whether there was a will, who would get what. I said I was still alive, that it was too early to think about it. They didn't like it. My son said everything should be decided in advance. My daughter agreed. They pressured me. They said it would be easier that way. I postponed it. Then they started visiting more often. Not because of me, because of the papers. They went through documents, asked where things were. They offered help with signing. I began to worry. One day I overheard a conversation. They thought I was asleep. They were talking in the kitchen. Quietly, but I could hear. They said I was taking too long. That I was holding everything for myself. That if the apartments were already theirs, they would sell them and solve their own problems. Then I heard a phrase, "She won't last long anyway." I lay on the ceiling. I wanted to believe I was mistaken. But after that, everything became clear. They started taking me to doctors. They insisted on checkups and medicines. They brought pills. Said I had to take them. I asked what they were for. They answered briefly. The doctor prescribed them. I checked. Some weren't for me. I stopped taking them. My daughter started to get angry. She said I didn't want to treat myself. That it would be my own fault if I got worse. My son said I had become difficult. I began to feel fear. Not sharp. Constant. They spoke about the will again. They brought a notary. I said I wouldn't sign anything. They got offended. They left. After that, their behavior changed. Cold. They could go weeks without calling. Then they would come and start again. One day I overheard another conversation. In the hallway. They didn't know I was there. My son said, if she suddenly dies, everything will be solved quickly. My daughter replied, the main thing is that there are no problems. I understood everything. I started locking all the doors. I stopped eating what they brought. I was afraid to be alone with them. I began telling acquaintances. Some believed me. Some said I was imagining things. But I could see it in their eyes. There was no care. There was calculation. They were angry that I was still alive. That I was using my property. That they couldn't take it now. One day my son said directly, we want to live too. I asked, what am I doing then? He said nothing. After that, they became even more distant. But from time to time they came to check if I was alive. That's exactly how it felt. I started hiding documents. Some I gave to a friend for safekeeping. I changed the locks. Told no one. When they found out, there was a scandal. They shouted that I didn't trust them. That I had lost my mind. I stayed silent. Because I knew what I had heard. I contacted a lawyer. Made a new will. Not the one they wanted. I didn't tell them. I felt a little better. But the fear didn't disappear. I began to fear sudden death. I was afraid that one day they would come and say it just happened on its own. I controlled everything. Food, water, medicine. I lost my peace. One day my daughter said, you will regret this. I realized I was doing the right thing. Now they almost don't come. Offended. They tell acquaintances I am a bad parent. That I gave everything to strangers. Maybe, but I am alive. And I didn't let them decide when I should die.